gonna start recording the class for the ones who are not here with us. Okay?
Oye,
Yes.
en este momento hay que agarrarse porque si no, no se queda. No se queda. En este momento hay que agarrarse porque si uno después se queda.
Definitivamente. That's for true. That's true. That's so true. So you gotta be ready. You have to be ready. So let's begin. Here it is. Mr. Ruiz Duo arrived. Ruiz Duo arrived. Okay. So today we're gonna continue. Remember, the second trimester we talk about, or we introduce the class or the chapters in India. Remember, we spoke how it begins. We spoke about some geography of India, and also we spoke about the two main religions, that is the Hinduism and the Buddhism in India, and how it began and everything else, and another civilization during prehistoric. Now we're gonna talk about the empires that took over during these years before Christ, 320 and 185. Now this is the first empire, the Mauryan Empire, okay? Like you see, in the army, they use elephants. They use elephants in order to go to war during in this area, And also, I think in Egypt, sometimes they use some elephants because remember, the elephants that are here in this area is not the same over here in Africa. They are different. I think this is bigger than the ones in Africa. I'm not quite sure, but the elephants that are here in India is not the same as the ones who live in Africa. They are different, okay? Maybe about the thorns because of this. Anyway, let's begin the class, okay? Now, the first empire is the Mauryan Empire. It says that this empire unified the India. Lois, yours arrived, Miss Lois. Now, it says, in the 320 BC, a military leader named Chandragupta Mauryan seized control of the entire northern part of India. Now, the entire part of India is this one over here, this north area, close to the Himalaya. All this area, he seized control, Mr. Chandragupta Mauryan, okay? By doing so, he founded Mauryan Empire. Se llamó el Imperio Mauryan. Mauryan rule lasts for about 150 years. 150 años duró ese imperio. 150. Okay, let's continue. The Mauryan government and economy. Now, Chandragupta Mauryan ruled his empire with the help of a complex government. It included a network of spies and a huge army of some 660 soldiers. 600,000 soldados, imagínense. Wow. The army also had miles de elephants que iban a la batalla. The army also had thousands of war elephants and thousands of chariots, carruajes, también usaban carruajes. In return for the army's protection, farmers paid a heavy tax to the government. Así que imagínense, para poder tener una armada así tan grande, los granjeros y todo el pueblo tenían que pagar impuestos muy altos que le pagaban aquí al gobierno para poder tener todo eso. Por eso es que duró tanto ese gobierno, ese imperio.
O sea, o eran muy buenos en batalla o tenían muy buena economía.
Excuse me?
No podían hacer.
Hello, apaga el micrófono, turn off the microphone, Mr. Gordon. Everybody can hear you. Please turn off your microphone. Thank you. Chandragupta Mauryan also introduced one's currency. ¿Qué es currency? Currency es la moneda. La moneda a través de todo el imperio. This single currency of copper, of silver coins. O sea que había moneda de qué? De plata y de qué? De cobre. Como aquí nosotros tenemos el centavo es de cobre. Todos los centavos que vemos que sale el indio huracán, ese es de cobre. Y así igualmente usaban ese material para hacer monedas y así hacer transacciones. Accurate Cooper of silver helped trade flourish as it's made it easier for people to conduct business. Era mucho más fácil el intercambio de monedas. ¿Para qué? Para hacer negocios. Marian rules also set up government system for accounting to keep track of the empire financials. En esta época entonces también aparecen los contadores los que llevaban también, llevaban las finanzas del gobierno. Okay? Now let's talk about the society. How was divided the society in the Mauryan Empire? It says 7 categories of Mauryan society. There were 7 categories. Now there were the philosophers, the farmers, the soldiers, the heads, the herdsmen, artisans, magistrates, and consulars. This division were looked as a caste because of, like other society, people were not allowed to change to another, and they had to live with that category. Okay, now this map shows you, like it says over here, shows you how big was this empire. It took almost the whole the whole India. And this area, all this area, they control all the India area. Okay. Now, in the same Mauryan empire, then the grandson of Wadraktub, the Chandraguptas, his name was Asoka. Remember, we talked about this personality in the previous trimester. Remember, he was a follower of the Buddhism, Mr. Asoka. He was a prince and he was a warrior before he became Buddhism. Okay, now like I said, Asoka became king. Asoka was a strong ruler, the strongest of all the Mauryan emperors. He extended Mauryan rule over most of India. Now this is the picture of Asoka. For many years, Asoka watched his army fight bloody battles against other people. A few years into his rule, however, Asoka converted to Buddhism, se convirtió al budismo. Y acuérdense que los budistas, la religión o la filosofía budista, ellos predican y ellos promueven mucho la paz. La paz. Ellos no son de batalla ni de guerra. Entonces él cambió su manera de pensar y dejó de estar invadiendo y ir a batallas. Okay? So when he did, o sea, cuando él se convirtió al budismo, he swore, él juró, that he would not launch any more wars of conquest. Juró que ya no iba a lanzar más guerras para conquistar territorios. Asoka also built hospitals and concentrated on relief suffering. He built universities where women as well men could study. He also paid attention to the needs of all religious communities, not just Buddhism ones. No quiere decir que también ayudaba a la otra religión. Acuérdense que también había otra religión muy importante que era el hinduismo. ¿Ya? So, este era lo más importante, el budismo y el hinduismo. Asoka also encouraged the spread of Buddhism in India and the rest of Asia. Asoka died in the year 233 BC, and the empire began to fall apart soon afterward. His sons fought each other for power, and invaders threatened the empire. Okay, guys. Gupta rulers promote Hinduism, even though they were Buddhism. Okay, let's stop right here, and then let's watch a video that talks about this empire. Let me see over here. Let me show you this, guys. You have already some information in the platform, okay? You have some information over here at the bottom of this platform. You have vocabulary number 1, that is on page 167 in your book. Remember, you need to write the vocabulary, write it down, all the meanings in your notebook. And also the assessment questions, that is on page 171. And these are the questions that you need to answer. 1A, B, C, and 2A and B. These are the only questions that you need to answer in your notebook. Okay, guys, now let's watch a video that talks about the history of India and review some characters important in the history of India, guys. Let's watch.
The Mauryan Empire. Chandragupta Maurya was the founder of the Mauryan Empire, which was the first of its kind in India. Before him, the Nandas were ruling Punjab. He overthrew the oppressive reign of Nandas. He banished the Greeks left behind by Alexander. Chandragupta's domain included Afghanistan, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Kathiawar, and Bengal. An able and good king, Chandragupta Maurya laid good roads, planted trees on the sides of the roads, dug numerous wells, built rest houses for weary passengers. An historical study of Chandragupta Maurya will not be complete without the reference to Chanakya. Chanakya, a devout and clever Brahmin, became the chief architect of Magad. With courage, intelligence, careful planning, and with a sincere wish to do good to people, Chandragupta embarked on numerous welfare schemes like building hospitals, etc., with the able assistance of Chanakya. After Chandragupta, his son Bindusara ruled for 25 years, and after him his son Ashoka took the reins of the reign of Magad. A valiant and able king, Bindusara left behind a vast kingdom which covered almost the whole of India. Ashoka, son of Bindusara, became a world-renowned figure who took up the title of Devanampya Piyadasi, beloved of the gods. On the 13th year of his reign, Ashoka attacked Kalinga, which was the only state that refused to bow down to the Maurya king Bindusara. The Battle of Kalinga in 261 BC was a terrible one in all aspects. Though Emperor Ashoka became victorious, the loss on both sides in the form of human lives, wealth, security, and safety was very great. When Ashoka witnessed the destruction and suffering caused by the war, he became sad and depressed. He vowed never to fight again. In his despondent mood, Buddhism, a religion of non-violence and compassion, appealed to him, and Ashoka became a Buddhist. Thus, a ruthless king became an apostle of peace and love, but he never imposed Buddhism on others. He became an ideal king and gave an honest and efficient administration to his people. His messages of tolerance, compassion, and non-violence were carved on stone pillars for preserving the future generations. At Sarnath near Varanasi, one such pillar has the figure of 4 lions sitting back to back on the top. This has become the official seal of the Indian government today. Ashoka the Great died in 232 BC. With his death, the Mauryan Empire began to decline because the successive rulers were weak and inefficient. The Mauryan Empire ultimately disappeared in 187 BC.
Okay, guys, hold on. Let's watch the second video.
The Maurya dynasty. Right after Alexander's departure from India, Chandragupta Maurya invaded central and western India. With Pataliputra as its capital near Patna,
What is happening?
Hold on. some technical difficulties happen. Let's watch another. Let's stop right. Let's stop here. I don't know if it's internet or.
Kautilya was one of Chandragupta Maurya's
Yes, it was internet. Sorry. Let's begin.
The Maurya dynasty. Right after Alexander's departure from India, Chandragupta Maurya invaded central and western India. With Pataliputra as its capital near Patna, he had occupied northwestern India in its entirety by the year 316 BC. The great strategist and minister Chanakya, also known as Kautilya, was one of Chandragupta Maurya's closest advisors. At Chanakya's behest, Chandragupta took over the throne of Magadha from Nanda dynasty, which was ruled by the corrupt king Dhana. The empire stretched north all the way up to the Himalayas, north of India, and to the far west to the present-day Pakistan. During this time, Chanakya went on to write the Arthashastra, one of the greatest collections of observations and manuals on economics, politics, foreign affairs, administration, warfare.
Okay, guys. Okay, let's stop right here, and then we'll continue. You are on Thursday. Yes, I remember. We have class on Thursday, so we'll see you and we'll complete this chapter on Thursday. Remember, try to complete the vocabulary and also the assessment questions, guys. Okay, guys? Do you have any questions? Luca, do you have any question, Luca? No question. Okay, then if there's no any question, then see you next Thursday. Bye-bye. See ya. Take care.